If you think that fun in the sun is a game of ball on the beach, think again. Welcome to Avignon, a simply glorious city in the south of France. 700 years ago, this was home to no less than 7 popes. But today, it's host to myself and our 2 teams who are looking for profitable antiques in the local marketplaces. We'll be scouring this historic city for antiques and collectibles, and Avignon is a perfect place to look, as it is literally surrounded by history. A complete medieval wall surrounds the centre of town and the fairy tale centrepiece that is the Palais de Pape. So, what's the challenge? I'll be giving 2 teams £350 with which to buy antiques and collectibles here at the local marketplaces. After a busy 2 days shopping, it's back home to the UK and to sell those items at antique fairs there. Whoever makes the most profit is the winner. Each team consists of 1 enthusiastic collector and 1 professional dealer. Our first enthusiast is Kim. She's a hotel manager from East Sussex.
I never buy anything to sell, I just buy things to keep and collect. But obviously, occasionally, you end up with so many things that you have to get rid of some to make room for the new ones.
Helping Kim choose some profitable purchases is Mark Franks, a seasoned dealer with many years' experience selling French antiques in the UK. But watch out, he often goes for some pretty unusual things. Competing against Kim is her friend Andy. He's a man with a passion, and it's glass.
Well, I guess it's probably fair to call me a glass nutter, really. My idea of heaven is to wake up at about 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning and hit every boot fair that I can possibly find within about a 100-mile radius of our house.
Complementing Andy's knowledge of glass is professional dealer Jonty Herndon. He has a passion for furniture and has his own shop specialising in 18th and 19th century furniture and decorative objects. They make a formidable team. Our first market is on the opposite side of the River Rhône to Avignon, in Villeneuve-les-Avignon, literally New Town. But it's not that new. It started to take shape in 1307 when the king decided it was a prime location for keeping an eye on the Pope, who lived across the river. There's a brocante market here every Saturday morning, attracting more locals than tourists. Always a good sign if you're looking for a bargain. Good morning, team.
Morning.
How are you feeling?
Good.
Brilliant. Excellent. Raring to go.
Oh, yes.
All right, so in these bags, there's £350 for each team. But before I give this to you, just remember, whatever you buy here today has to be sold back in the UK at a profit. So you've got to think to yourselves, is it collectible or rejectable? Kim, what are you going to be looking for?
I'm hoping to buy some Art Deco.
Lovely. Andy, you're a glass man, aren't you?
I am. That's my passion.
Excellent. So French or English glass here today, Andy?
I don't think we'll find any English here, but I would fully expect to find some handsome, practical French glass here.
Lovely, lovely. Jonty, you a glass man?
I love glass, but we must not have any damage because we've got to sell this stuff.
Absolutely you are. Right, I think you're ready. Kim, here's your money. Andy, there's your bag of money. And I think you're time to just belt up and buy.
Let's buy some glass,
quick.
quick.
Each team has £350 with which to buy at least 10 items. Once spent out, it's back home to sell those items at a UK antiques market, and whichever team takes the most money will be the winner.
No!
Right, Andy, what have we got here?
I'll tell you what we've got here is we have some champagne flutes here.
Wow, those are brilliant. Yeah, they look 19th century, sort of 1860 in date.
About that.
Champagne flutes. How have we got?
We've got 4.
Oh, good.
But that one has got a stain in it, and I don't think that's going to come out.
Oh, yeah, I see.
That one has a very light stain in it.
They're €12 each, so yeah, I can see a prop, can't you?
Now look, this is an example of what I was saying. This is absolutely perfect. Father's Day present or St. Man, pens, letters, inkwell. And that's the sort of thing I've got in mind.
Well, what about these? These look brilliant. These.
It's a really practical...
Yeah.
The thing about these is that they're going to be practical. You can drink wine out of them.
Yes. Look at that beautiful shape. They've got to be
Hand-blown.
Hand-blown. That's lovely. I like those.
About 1880, 1900.
Now we could sell these individually, can't we?
Oh yes, I think, well, they're not a set.
Yeah.
But I don't think that matters. When
No.
you've got a generous bowl like that.
Those are great.
Or something like that. Bit of fruit in there, lovely. You with me?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to aim to find, something like that. People
All
can
right,
buy
then.
as presents. There's a lot of stuff here. I think we should crack on.
So we've got 7
Wine glasses.
7 at 6
Yeah.
and 3 at 9.
See what you can do.
Voilà. On a les 6 champagnes à 9 et j'ai mis 7 à 6. C'est toujours bon?
Celui-là aussi?
Ouais.
C'est bon, oui, oui.
OK. 69. 69.
Brilliant. That's going to be a fantastic time.
69. That's
69
about
euros.
50 quid.
About 50. That's fantastic. Well, I think that's a really good start.
Yep.
I'm
absolutely
thrilled about that.
Yeah, me too.
You're a wine man as well as a glass man.
Oh, I'm
presumably.
always whining.
I don't want the world, I want you. Yeah. I don't want the world, I want you.
Look at that top hat, isn't that lovely? Yes. Now, some top hats make more money than others. Do you know the reason?
No.
Size. Now that's a small size. They probably fit you. It's even a bit tight for you. The bigger they are, the more they're worth. They can run into hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but you need the big sizes. That's quite a small one, so we'll leave that.
She shivers like a California sunset.
We've chosen Avignon not just because it's a stunningly beautiful city in the south of France that's steeped in history, but also because it's a popular destination for a weekend break. Just a short drive from Nîmes Airport, cheap flights are available to and from the UK every day. Or you could try out the newly opened express train, the TGV, travelling down from Paris in just 2 hours 40 minutes. It's so convenient that Avignon has a growing community of weekend residents. And it's so easy to see what attracts them. Avignon enjoys a relaxed pace, but with all the perks of contemporary life. Fabulous designer boutiques, high street fashions, a world-famous live theatre festival every July, and numerous art galleries and museums. It's very easy to feel at home here. But enough holiday daydreaming, on with the game.
Does this appeal?
I think
Bit
that's
of Art
nice.
Nouveau?
Yeah. The snag is we've got chips on it.
Yeah. It's a
Lamp
base
base.
for a lamp,
Cheers.
but it's got chips, and we can't afford chips. Not even with mayonnaise.
If it's dead cheap, I may have a little punt at it. Vous pouvez le faire à 5? 6. Vendu.
What have we got it for?
7.
Go on.
Chaps, you've just broken your own golden rule. Chips!
Combien, monsieur?
5 euros.
5 euros. You don't do that. Come on. Toi, 4? 4?
I'm really impressed by how quickly our teams have made their first purchases, but I just hope they haven't bought in haste. They're not the only ones with shopping to do today, because I have the important task of choosing the prize. And I'm not going to be buying at this market just in case they're looking over my shoulders. I'm going to check out alternative places for my bargain. I've popped into Avignon to check out the local brocante shops. That's the French word for antiques and collectibles. This is a very lovely piece of furniture. What is it? Well, it's a coaching table. You would take this with you on long journeys on the coach, and when you stopped for lunch, you would pull this out like this. It's got this fantastic concertina action? Well, I wouldn't do it. I mean, if you're travelling by coach, your butler would do it. And you'd pull it out, and that's right, make it square. Now, what we look for with old furniture like this, it's dated about 1780, 1790, is the colour. The polish over all the years of cleaning and polishing has just produced that fabulous, what we call patina. There's the stippling in there. It is absolutely wonderful. Now, the top, obviously, the original leather hasn't survived, but what the dealer has done here is recreate the original colour of the leather and the original gold tooling. It's in great condition now, obviously, because it's just been restored. And this would sit up on top, just like this. Absolutely lovely. Well, at £5,000, it's slightly out of our range, but just imagine how extraordinarily smart this would look at your next picnic. In fact, I'm not sure any of these shops will have anything suitable. I'm going to have a little Avignon expedition of my own and take in some of the fabulous sights en route. You may well have heard of Avignon from the famous nursery rhyme Sur le pont d'Avignon that describes dancing on the Saint-Benazet Bridge. Sadly, the song seems to have survived better than the bridge, as only 4 of the original 22 arches remain. Behind me there are the walls to the ancient town of Villeneuve-les-Avignon, which the kings built to keep their eyes on this side of the river where the popes were. But today it's in the reverse order. I'm here trying to keep an eye on our teams who are somewhere over there. Is that more glass I see? Andy really is obsessed.
These are pretty. Yeah, they've got a...
Surely that enormous crack will put them off. Looks like it has. I hope Kim and Mark are looking for something different.
Look at this. Isn't that nice? What do you think it is?
I think it came from a snooker table or a pool table, probably a billiard table. As the ball fell down, dropped into there, the weight of the ball made that open. You took the ball out and...
Oh,
isn't it gorgeous? 70 quid. Now, if there was 4, it'd be buyable, but 70 quid for one.
6.
Yeah, good point. All right, 6. Regardless, for one, it's a lot of money. Mate, a great door knocker, wouldn't it? But
It would, yeah.
I think we'll give that a swerve. But it's
What a
beautiful.
shame, it's gorgeous.
Isn't it wonderful?
Mark's got a great eye for a quirky item.
Walking sticks. Keep your eye open for walking sticks. Look at the top of this one. It's got a monogram. The ones with monograms are worth less money. This one's unwritten, so it's worth more money. The tops are made of silver, and they date from about the turn of the century. They're in fairly good condition. He wants 70 quid each. Not for me. That's full retail money. You do see these at car boot sales, you do see these at antique fairs, and you do see these at auction. Look out for the ones with the black top. If it's got a black top, it's normally silver. Polish it up and it'll look like that. These are lovely. If it was a bit cheaper, I'd try and buy all 3. Extremely collectible.
Still on the lookout for today's prize, I just have to stop and show you Avignon's most magnificent attraction, the Palais des Papes. Those popes had some home. In fact, this is the largest Gothic palace in the world. Built during the 14th century, it was the papal home for over 100 years. It now attracts 650,000 visitors every year. During the French Revolution, it became a jail. Shortly after that, it became a barracks, and the soldiers chipped away a lot of the frescoes there to sell them on to the local antique dealers. Mind you, I don't think we'll find any of that in the markets. Avignon blossomed during the Pope's residency, attracting artists and businesses from far and wide. It would have looked very much as it does today, a maze of pretty squares and winding streets, surrounded by a protective circular wall. Because Avignon was ruled by the Church and the Pope, and not by the king and country, it meant it was exempt from the laws of the land. Very convenient indeed for smugglers, counterfeiters, criminals. In fact, it wouldn't at all surprise me if some of that booty ended up at these antique markets here. Which reminds me, I've still got a prize to buy. I've deliberately chosen something that isn't glass for Andy and Kim. It's a lovely etching of Avignon from about 1840, 1850. It does, however, have a bit of foxing around the sides, around the corners here, and foxing is what we call those little brown spots. Now, I'd be very happy to live with that foxing. You may not be, but if you do choose to have it removed, then take it to a specialist, old, antiquarian book dealer, and then this could be removed with chemicals. Now, look at the frame. It looks positively old, but that could sometimes be very deceiving because frames are often made to look old. So what we do is turn it round to see what's happening at the back here. Here we are, great evidence of some age there. It probably isn't the original frame, but I would say this has been here about 50 years. So all in all, I would say this is a perfect memento for a very pleasant but busy couple of days shopping in Avignon. But who's going to win that wonderful prize by making the most money back in the UK? John T. Andy, hi, how are you getting on?
Well, I think we're into profit already.
Goodness, that's good.
Yeah, we haven't spent much money though. That's the only
That's
problem.
even better. Lots more for later on. So I suppose, Mr. Glass expert, you're looking at glass the whole time,
It
are
does
you?
kind of flash out at me. I can't help it.
Yeah, but don't limit your horizons. Expand, because there
very
may
good.
not be that many glass experts back home. So, what's the most unusual piece of glass you've got, Andy?
I think the strangest piece that I ever found, in fact, I found a glass tube. It was clearly early glass, maybe 18th century, 18 inches long, and had a little hole at the.
What was it?
It turned out that it was a cucumber straightener.
Wow.
You inserted the flour into the hole at the end, and as the cucumber grew, it grew perfectly straight.
Well, there's
Every
a
home should have
purpose
one.
for everything, isn't
First
there?
for me, that's amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you've got lots of money left. There's still lots more to see. So,
Yeah.
good hunting. Catch up with you later.
See you later.
See ya.
Mark, Kim, gotcha.
Hello, mate.
I hope you
All
haven't
right.
spent out, have you?
It's all secret.
Nearly.
Is it? Is it? So, any money left?
We've got a few bob left, yeah. We're
Yeah.
just trying to be wise and sensible, but
Well,
it's
that's
very
very
hard.
good.
It's
I'm
very
glad to
hard.
hear that. Kim, have you been snapping up all the Art Deco?
No, unfortunately, we haven't found much at all.
Kim, what's your house like? Is it full of Art Deco or
No,
what?
it's just full.
Just full of everything. Anything goes. Excellent. Mark, what's catching your eye here?
I keep coming back to the same thing. Let me get it. Let me show you.
What's he got?
I keep coming back, and I can't. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yes, I've got 6 of those.
It's really lovely. We keep
Lovely.
walking past it and keep going back to it. It's
Well?
70 quid.
Well,
It's a lot of money.
it is a lot.
And unfortunately, our hearts are saying buy it,
Yeah.
but our wallets are saying we ain't going to make a profit on that, honey. So we're going to have to leave it. And
Collectible or rejectable?
Yeah, well, I want it for myself.
Well, I'll let you think about that. See you later on.
Hi.
Goodbye. Let's leave it. Let's leave it.
Now, I really want to show you this coffee set, this porcelain coffee set. What's so exciting is this fantastic geometric yellow and black pattern on the outside. It's so cool, it's so 1950s, and it's also made by Limoges, which has a fantastic pedigree of making porcelain here in France. Now, the dealer who owns this set insists that it's 1920s, but don't believe everything a dealer tells you, because to me, this has got the 1950s written all over it.
No time for tea today. Both teams have a lot of their budgets still to spend.
Andy, these are great sellers at home.
Buffet.
Buffets,
the
yeah.
French call them.
Yeah. In England, it's a real problem to find anything to store your crockery away. English sideboards tend to be just chest of drawers.
Yes.
This fills a fantastic gap in the market, and these become exceedingly popular over the last 10 years. At home, this would be worth, I suppose, sort of £1,500, £2,000.
This?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Il est combien le buffet? It's the same price. It's 1,400 here.
Right.
So that's
there you go.
nearly
Same price.
£1,000.
Yeah. Well, there's no profit in that.
No.
But look at that's cherry wood. That's made about 150 years ago, and it's a gorgeous and lovely, yummy colour. I love those. I'm a big fan of those buffets.
Isn't this a problem that in fact there's a stain here and
Yeah,
here?
and that's exactly the reason why I wouldn't buy this.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to look at that top and say, for that money, I don't want that kind of stain.
Sure.
Come on, let's move on.
Yo. When you're at car boot sales, get in the boxes, dig at the bottom. These fountain pens aren't the ones. But one recently sold at a London auction house for £98,000. Unfortunately, there's not one here, but these are still lovely fountain pens. Come Christmas time, people want these as prezzies. If these are working in good order, they make 40, 50, 60 pounds each. So get in the bottom of the boxes and look for fountain pens. There's a good market for them and they're very, very collectible.
Have Mark and Kim lost the plot? They're negotiating for 3 items, including an orange phone booth.
You like old things and
Yes,
yeah?
I like you very much.
Yes, et c'est pour ça que vous devez même acheter les choses.
Ouais, mais c'est quand même
Choses
Can I just take
parce
you
que
to my
vous êtes
Yes.
Has Mark finally met his match?
It works out to roughly 100 quid.
Yes.
For 3 items.
3 items.
I say 130.
Yes, go on. allez.
140. The best. 140 is the best I can do.
Tell
For
him,
the
baby.
free things, I want 200 euros.
Yeah.
I do 140.
I'm saying 130, you're saying 140. Why don't meet in the middle, 135?
140?
135. So
140. No, no.
Oh, come on.
And I'll get you a cafe. Do a cafe. Toi cafe. Come back.
Allez, one coffee, okay.
Blimey, Mark, you really drive a hard bargain, but I just can't imagine anyone wanting that phone booth back home.
Merci beaucoup.
Having been selling since sunrise, the French dealers decide that at lunchtime, enough is enough.
Say it's alright. It's alright. Say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
It seems Andy is very tempted by the French lifestyle. So, how did they do? Well, Kim and Mark spent a total of £143 on just 5 items. As well as that phone booth, they also picked up an enormous antique oak mirror, which is lovely. But as for those coat hooks, well, I'm not so sure. Andy and Jonty's glass marathon amassed 20 items at a total cost of £170. Good going, chaps. Other interesting buys were 2 etched wine decanters and this rather nice deco fruit bowl. Our second day of shopping is in the heart of Avignon. On Sunday mornings, there are actually 3 markets to choose from, 2 of which are flea markets, known as Les Pousses. We've chosen a brocante market in Place P, which should give us a better choice of quality items. We're here nice and early in the hope of catching more than just a worm. Andy, Kim, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling? Raring to go?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. OK, so you've still got some money left, I hope?
Oh, yes.
Excellent. Kim, your buys yesterday were a bit off the wall, shall we say?
Well, interesting and speculative, perhaps.
Well, that orange phone box, Kim.
Yes.
Well, there won't be too many of those around.
No, I think it's probably going to be the only one.
I think you might be right. Andy, from what I could tell, all you seemed to buy was glass.
Well, there were some really nice pieces that I didn't buy, but there was no market margin left in them.
Yeah, because you've got to think resale, haven't you? And you've got to think positively about what you can get back home.
Sure.
All right, so what are you going to be looking for today, Kim?
I think perhaps something more run-of-the-mill.
So yes, I think that might be a better idea. So we're leaving the speculative stuff behind.
No, that's not sure, but
Yeah, no more orange phone boxes.
have to wait and see.
Andy?
I mean, having bought virtually all glass yesterday, it'd be nice to buy some non-glass, but we'll see what's there.
Right, teams, just before you go, I'm going to be asking you a question later on today, which could win you a bonus item for your stands back home. That could help with your profits. Now, it's going to be a question, and quite a difficult question, so just a word of advice, ask your experts about Art Deco, because that's going to be the theme of the question, OK? All right, so let's get going, let's get on with the day. Happy hunting, use your money well, and see you later on.
Yo.
Bye.
Excellent, bye. The teams are giving all the antiques a thorough going over before splashing the cash today. They're both hoping to uncover the most saleable items to sell on at the world-famous Ardingly International Antiques and Collectors Fair in the south of England. The fair attracts a lot of trade buyers and very knowledgeable amateurs, so our teams need to choose items of real quality to catch their discerning eyes.
Not for us, I don't think. Andy, look at this. Hey. What do you think about that? That's got some real style. 1960s, sort of fruit bowl. Now, the market's really changed for this kind of thing. 10, 15 years ago, you could not give this stuff away. But back home, this is really taking off. Oh, look, it's 45 euros. What do you reckon? Look at that for style. You see, as soon as you hold it up to the light, it's fantastic.
It comes alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's strange that on a piece of work that's obviously as fine as this, there's no signature at all, whereas if it were a piece of porcelain or whatever, it would be signed and it would be more sought after.
That's really stylish. How about that? I like that.
It's groovy.
Are we going to do the deal?
Do the deal, baby.
Well, it may be another piece of glass, but it's a great price at just £20. Well, the teams should certainly know what they're doing by now. So I will grab this opportunity to check out one of Avignon's most prolific collections of art and antiques. Just around the corner on the Rue Laboureux is the Musée Angledon. It's a fascinating personal collection started by Jacques Doucet, a Parisian couturier who began to invest some of his fashion fortune in works of art at the end of the 19th century. His art collection on the ground floor is magnificent, but what really interests me are the individual rooms upstairs, beautifully designed and filled with antiques and objets d'art. Well, in my opinion, this is one of the wonders of Avignon. And the reason is, no one actually knows what it is. What we do know is that it was presented to the museum in 1913. Prior to that, its history is a complete mystery. But what we do know is that it's Chinese and 9th century. On one side, we've got the flower decoration here, and on the other, we've got 3 seated Buddhas. The very fact that it's decorated on both sides indicates that it should be seen from both sides, so it's not a temple item to go into the wall. And because there's nothing else like it in the world, there's nothing to compare it with in value, so it is literally priceless. Now here's something that could be found in an antiques market anywhere. It's famille rose, which is made in China from the 18th century right up to the 20th century. And we call it famille rose because pink, rose in French, is the predominant colour, whereas the plate next to it, this green one, is called generically famille vert. But this was made in profusion. It was discovered that the Europeans loved everything Chinese, loved everything Oriental, so they cottoned onto it and churned it out by the bucketful, quite literally. And it wasn't only pieces as large as this. They did smaller platters, they did side plates, teacups, tea saucers, vases, covered vases, tankards, everything. But Famille Rose is often reproduced, and it's sometimes quite difficult to tell the difference between the real thing and the fake. But if you think you've come across something really lovely and rare, you better get it checked out first by an expert. The house and all its wonderful furniture has been passed down through Jacques Doucet's family, who continued to enrich the collection until 1996, when it opened its doors for us all to enjoy.
Vous dansez, mademoiselle?
Sacré français!
Back at the market, Kim's finally found some Art Deco.
Ah, now this is what I want to buy.
Hey.
This is exactly the sort of thing I was looking for.
Bit of deco. Now, pheasants are renowned for being stupid. Did you know that? And this one's looking that way, walking that way. That's why it's got a crash helmet on. It's in good nick, and there's no chips out of the marble, which I really like. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a lot of money because it's in really good condition. Should we ask how much it is?
Why not?
You fancy it, do you?
I certainly do.
On your head be it. Combien, monsieur?
150 euros.
Oh, dear. 105 quid. Not the end of the world, but I think we can do better than that.
We can do better. Et le meilleur prix?
Faites-moi une offre.
An offer.
An offer. 100. That's 100 euros. That's about 70 quid, roughly.
Papa.
No? OK. Should we meet him in the middle? 125. 125?
Oui, OK.
Allez.
That was a bit easy, wasn't it?
Too easy. Should have gone for less.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci, monsieur.
Merci.
£85, that's a bargain.
Sacré français! Pas sacré poil!
Exactly what I was thinking. Now, listen, remember what I said to you this morning? No more glass.
Oh,
Right.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. That looks like a carafe. It's very stylish. I think that's very saleable.
Let's have a look.
Oh, look, it's got Christian Dior on there as well. And it's got a loose top, and that looks silver-plated. Is this a carafe?
Yeah, no, for the parfum.
A mixing perfume?
Parfum, yes.
That's
Well, I'm
really
more
stylish.
inclined
Now,
to-
that could be sold as a carafe. But isn't that a lovely story, mixing the perfumes? Andy, with Christian Dior stamped on it, we've got to buy it. You've got to buy it. How
Great.
much is it?
Combien?
14 euros.
40. 40. I'll bid him 30.
Yeah.
30, c'est bon?
OK.
30?
Excellent.
Fantastic,
30.
Brian.
We got it.
Fantastic.
Great.
Right.
Merci.
That's a great buy. Let's wrap it and pack it.
Great.
Merci, monsieur.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
This looks like it should be in the bin, doesn't it? Take it down a dump. Actually, what this is a bentwood chair. Now, Michael Fonet was an Austrian, and he came up with the idea of bending this timber like this, and he used to warm it up and leave it in a mould for 24 hours. And he started doing this in the 1830s. Now, this is a typical example. Now, this can be restored and is worth doing. Each of these cane holes that you look at here cost £1 a hole to have redone. To get this back recaned cost you 50 quid, the seat 60 quid, to get it repaired 80 quid. God, it comes so much money, but it's a lovely piece of furniture. Look out for bits like this, bent wood, in good condition. They make lots and lots of money, very flexible.
It's good to see there are plenty of lovely pieces left at today's market, because I still need to find a bonus item. Later on, I shall give Kim and Andy the chance to win this item to add to their growing stockpile of French treasures. Ah, this is fantastic. So typically deco, this clock on a marble base with these bronzed birds. Absolutely lovely. Whether the clock works or not is totally irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. A perfect item for our bonus piece. At home, I think that would be about 150 to 200 pounds. So absolutely lovely, well worth considering. Now, this could be a great bonus item. Colourful, bright, so deco, that stepped ridge, very decorative. First thing I have to do, of course, is to look underneath, made in Belgium. That's all right. It's not fine china, it's actually quite crudely done, and mass-produced. One of a pair, all these would have had pairs. Now, this is a prize piece. Back at home, I would say about 50 to 60 pounds. So, yeah, very nice indeed. I like it a lot. I really like these, and I don't think our contestants have seen them yet. They're very neat and very clean, and typically Art Deco. Made of marble, don't seem to be any chips here, no. I would say about 1925, 1930, that sort of region, and very useful too. Now, back in the UK, I think these would fetch between 40 and 50 pounds. Here, a lot less.
Now, I've just spotted a real bargain, and I want to show you the reasons why. The dealer here wants £300 for this chest of drawers, and at home this would be worth £1,000. Now, there's a few problems with this chest. It would have originally had a fantastic marble top sitting on the top here, and we've got a few replacement handles down here, 1, 2 and 3, and there's just a little bit of a woodworm down at the bottom. But this chest is 120 years old. It's still a very handsome brute, and if I could take this home with me right now, I would.
Kay and Mandy, how are you getting on?
All right.
All right.
Excellent.
Good.
More stuff
Very
bought?
good. Yes.
More stuff bought.
How are these money bags?
Too full.
Too full.
I've
Still
got
something left.
100 euros to spend. I've got to get rid of this money.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure you will. All right, now, guys, bad news and good news. The bad news is you've got 2 hours left. That's all you've got left. The good news is I've chosen your bonus item.
Ooh.
And here it is.
Oh.
Right, Kim, what is it?
It's
Tell me.
an Art Deco pair of bookends.
Right. Well, my question is, how much did I pay for these?
15 euros.
20 euros.
You're both wrong, but you've got the nearest. I paid 10. So, these are going to be yours. And
Well,
for you, Kim, because you tried hard, there's a
Oh,
quote.
thank
All right,
you.
have the rest
2
of the
hours left. No. I'm keeping the rest.
Oh, thank you
Right,
for the book.
get to it. 2 hours left with all the money
Off
you've
we
got left.
go.
See you later on.
Bye.
Great. See you later.
With just 2 hours to go, there's no time for messing about. It's time to spend, spend, spend.
Seems to be a misunderstanding about who you belong to. I'm tired of he say, she say, and who shot John. I don't know where he came from.
Well, that's quite interesting, actually.
That's nice.
So what do you reckon that's made of?
Don't tell me.
It's glass. It's actually quite interesting. It's
That looks about sort of turn of the century to me.
I think it's about right. It's probably a little earlier.
And it's pressed. Is it American?
It's pressed. I think it's probably French, but
Yeah.
the dauphin, the dolphin, is there's a French motif. But the Boston Sandwich Glass Company made lamps mounted on a dolphin exactly like that, candlesticks and so on.
Yeah.
So whilst I think this is French, this is obviously a later mount.
Yeah.
But I think that's really decorative. It's coloured pressed, and I don't know how much it is, but I think we should try and get it if we can.
What do you think we can sell it for? Because that's the most important thing. Is that when you're thinking of retailing it, is what price do you think we can get for it? I think that's worth about 50, 60 pounds on a
I
market
reckon.
stall.
Yeah.
Back home?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, let's find out the price.
Okay.
I think that's a nice buy. It's glass again, but...
Sorry, Janty.
Come on. Let's go and ask the price.
Okay. C'est à combien, monsieur, le dauphin?
Le dauphin pour vous,
Ouais.
25 euros, monsieur.
25 euros, that's 15 quid.
Done deal, mate. Done deal.
Acheté, merci beaucoup.
Bah, merci, monsieur.
Je vous en prie.
Merci.
Merci.
Yeah, good. For 30 euros, I don't think we've got about...
Team, hi.
How you doing?
Any money left?
We got a little.
A little. Well, you know what? You've got an hour left in which to spend it.
Okay. Okay, let's get on with it.
I recognise this stall. Look at this. The only bit that catches my eye is that blooming thing again.
Yes, the one from yesterday.
Team, 1 hour left.
I really like it, don't you?
I think that's the deciding force. We should go and strike a deal, eh?
Let's go for it.
You happy?
Yes.
At the end of 2 hectic days of shopping in Avignon, our teams have spent out. Kim and Mark have spent their £350 on just 12 items. I think that the pheasant is a classy piece of deco and at £85 should make a good profit. But as for that phone box, I can't wait to see what happens to that. Andy and Jonty racked up an amazing 36 items. I love the Christian Dior perfume decanter. There's big money to be made there. But as for the brass candlestick holder, well, it doesn't light my fire. This looks brilliant. You must be exhausted, aren't you?
Yes.
Kim, what amongst this lot is your favourite item?
It would have to be the billiard table thing.
That's absolutely delightful. And Mark, what do you think is going to make you the most money?
Well, it's all going to make lots of money, but the
course.
piece of glass, dome glass.
Is that the best?
Amazing the man didn't spot it. The glass man.
No. Andy, coming on to you, what's your favourite piece that you've bought here?
Well, I like the champagne flutes. I thought they were a snip.
Yeah.
But I guess the flask, the carafe, the silver-mounted carafe is going to be a goer.
Looks very chic to me. And Jonty, what's going to make you the most money here?
Well, I've got to agree with my partner. That's a fantastic find and we should do really well with it.
Well, teams, you've both done fantastically well. So all we've got to do now is get this back to the UK to sell it. So let's just bubble it up. It's time to fly. It took our teams 2 exhausting days of shopping in Avignon, southern France, to find all these wonderful items, which are now up for sale at Ardingly Antiques Market in the south of England. Each team is hoping to make a good profit on their initial kitty of £350 to win the delightful etching I bought in France.
Oh, look, it's more glass.
The question is, do you price them in? I guess you price them individually.
That's probably the best thing to do, isn't it?
And I reckon 25 each on them.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think we should ask
25 pence.
Excuse me, John. I've just got something to deal with.
Ardingly International Antiques and Collectors Fair, to give it its full title, is an enormous market held 6 times a year in Ardingly, near Haywards Heath in West Sussex. It's always on for 2 days. Tuesdays are aimed at trade buyers, but anyone prepared to pay £20 is welcome. Wednesdays are just a £5, so tend to attract more amateur enthusiasts. We've chosen to come on a Tuesday, hoping to prize open some professional wallets with our French fancies.
What we're going to do today, we've got 1 day to sell this stuff.
Yes.
Start high on the prices, but do not let them walk away.
Right.
As they turn and walk away, just say, look, you cannot offend me. What do you want to give me? What do you want to pay? Make me an offer. You with me?
I'm with you.
Every
yes.
customer we need, all right? So don't let them walk away.
Which is your favourite piece?
What, commercially or?
Well, commercially. We're talking commercial here today, mate. Only
Well, I think the set of glasses is probably the best.
Yeah, okay. And you what, £25 each for these?
25 each for the big uns.
Yeah. I'd like to take those home myself, actually.
Gear off. Well, look, listen to me, boy. I might do a deal with you.
Do a deal.
Good morning, teams.
Morning, Chris.
I have to say, the stands look fantastic. So, are you raring to go?
You bet.
Kim, are you still happy with everything you bought in France?
Yes, very happy with
No
it.
regrets?
None whatsoever.
Excellent. Good to hear it. Mark, what do you think's going to sell first?
Coat hooks.
The coat hooks. Well, they're quite good, but there's a lot more to come out. And Andy, how about your stand? Are you still happy with that?
We're going to be fighting them off.
You are. A lot of glass there.
Yeah, but my only concern is an earthquake, and there's one forecast for this afternoon, so we've got to get rid of this stuff.
Jonty, you're pretty confident.
Yes, but we do have a lot of glass, and the glass buyers have really got to be out in force today, most
Excellent.
definitely.
Well, you're both going to have to work very hard to sell out and make a load of money if you're going to win this. This is the prize, folks. A nice early etching of Avignon. So whoever makes the most money today wins this. Now you've got your money bags.
Yes.
Empty.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll be full later. Experts, you've got your books ready to take all the money. I'll let you finish off your stands. Good luck, enjoy it.
Thanks, great.
Thank you.
Well, the teams are ready, willing and able, but are the buyers?
The market's a bit quiet today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that exciting, is it? It could be better.
So what are we going to do to drum up some business?
Could start stripping naked, but I don't think that's going to work, is it, eh?
That'll put the punters off, I think. I think really the bottom line is as soon as somebody expresses any interest in anything, you know, try and
Jump
hook them
on
in.
them.
Yeah.
Jump on them, hold them down, take their wallets, and we'll be all right. As long as it doesn't start raining, we're laughing.
Yeah, well at least it's not raining.
Oh, he's only said it, he's gone and said it. We've had it now, haven't we?
Holding anything but me, 'cause I'm a real straight shooter, if you know what I mean. You can bring me love, you can hang around, you can bring me up, don't you bring me down.
Straight off the mark, Andy's wine glasses are attracting attention. But where's Andy? I suspect he may be out looking for even more glass.
Right, well, I'll keep these for you till you come back. Oh, God, you're in trouble. There's a lady there in a blue scarf. She wants a price on these 6 glasses.
Where is she?
White top and a blue scarf round her neck.
Right.
You're a lucky man, Andy. Kim's put rivalry aside to help you get your first sale. You owe her big time.
There we go.
The first deal of the day and a corking £20 profit.
I reckon I'll do them for 45. They're, as you know, are probably 1860 French champagnes. Suit you?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great.
I'll have those.
Jolly good. That's fascinating. Great. Well,
Luckily for Andy, the glass collectors are out in force today.
it'll wash. Slightly white. Great. Lovely. Thanks.
I suspect Kim may well be regretting helping out Andy.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Hey, Lou.
Oh, hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, all right, thanks.
I've had a
Yeah,
brief look
yeah.
around the fair and a lot of dealers are actually complaining. How are you getting on? No.
Been looted.
What's happened to the glass?
They nicked
There's
it.
no glass left.
They nicked it.
What's
I
happened?
turned my back for a minute and it was all gone.
You've been selling. What have you made? What did you do?
About 14 and 6 so far. The set of large glasses went. The shades went. The large carafe went. Yeah. So.
You're doing me proud. I'm really.
Yeah, we're going to
pleased.
lick them. We're going to end up with that great prize.
While the teams are busy selling their continental collectibles, I'm off to check out the competition and see what other French items are on offer today. I've just found this amazingly attractive French bateau. It's pottery, unmarked, but look at the lovely colour in this. Collectors worldwide for 1930s, 1940s pottery. A couple of years ago, this was considered absolute rubbish. Now, this is going for £72. We'd probably get it for 65. Absolute snip, very decorative. If I come back this time next year, it would be a wee bit more. Lovely. There's so much stuff here today, especially French things. Look at this great French bed. It's dated about 1870, 1880. The paintwork is original, this lovely light grey, and the fabric is replaced. That's been there, I would say, about 50 years. But all that needs is a good scrub. It'll come up like new. The French beds somehow are slightly more romantic than English beds, I think. But you know, there are practical considerations like measurements, length. You get the strut. Will I fit into this? Just about. So this is about 6 foot. That's fine. So let's look at the width. The width of this will just about take a 3-foot single mattress. But you know, the French sizes are sort of in between. Like this is bigger than our single and smaller than a double. It's what's called an occasional double. Hopefully not so occasional if you strike lucky enough. But you know, when you go looking for French beds, think practically, because you might have to have a mattress especially made for it. So when you go looking, take a tape measure with you.
Maria Papa said, you better go to bed. Maria Mama said, you better go to bed. And little sister said, you better go to bed. The little brother said.
Finally, Kim gets a bite on her oak mirror.
Well, I've been asking 150. I'll do it 120.
No, I'll do 100 on it.
I'll meet you in the middle, 110.
No, I'll give you a one.
105.
No, 100, that's it.
Let's have a look at our little... Do you want to take 100? We'll take your money, go on then.
That is a staggering 150% profit. That'll show the glass man.
Papa said, you better say goodnight. You better shut the light. If Papa told you no, you can go out tonight. But Papa didn't know. Maria had a date and couldn't let him wait. So in a little while, she waited till their lights.
I think it's a lovely design.
It's beautiful.
You're missing there's a bolt gone from there. It's a pretty easy repair.
Okay, but it needs a replate, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you take an offer?
Yeah, maybe, if you're lucky.
25?
Call it 30 and we're on.
Okay, you got a deal.
Great, okay.
Bye.
Oh yeah, I've got something there. Yeah, toodaloo, thanks. Great.
Good profit, Andy. But what caught her eye?
It's just a very unusual shape. It's very sort of barrel house. Quite a stylish piece. So, yes, it'll go well on my website.
And what about the deal you got?
Yes, not a bad deal at all. Yes, yes, worth money. Yeah.
Teams!
Oh,
hi, how are you doing?
Chris.
Yeah, great. Good. Any amazing sales, Kim?
Amazing, no, but I've made a few sales.
Amazingly, you still have that orange phone booth.
I know, I can't understand it.
Mark understands it.
Surprised. There's no one funky enough here, that's the problem.
I know, we'll find them. Well, you haven't got much glass left, Andy.
I know, it does seem to have gone.
Excellent.
Largely.
Well, you're doing quite well, but you've got 2 hours left and everything's got to go. So, what are you going to do?
Anything that anybody's interested in vaguely,
Right.
we've actually got to make them a price they really cannot refuse. So it's
Draw
really
them
got to-
in
yeah.
and really bamboozle them with...
Our angle is slightly different.
Yeah.
If they name their price,
Yeah.
they want to pay. We get them to name their price and we work on that. Worst ways, we take their price they name.
That's desperate measures, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
But you do it, and you've got 2 hours, so see you later.
Right.
Good selling.
Great, yeah.
The teams have done very well so far. Currently, Andy is nudging ahead with £210 in his money belt. Kim is having to work very hard for her money, but has managed to take £160. She needs to work even harder if she's going to steal the prize from Andy's clutches.
Right, what's your best offer?
35.
We actually have to sell this really.
What about 30?
Take 30.
Once I sell this, we've got to go.
It's up to you, Kim. It's a loss, but
Yeah, go on.
yeah.
All right
take your
then.
money.
Thank you.
35. You can actually have it for 35.
Meet halfway and you have a 35.
I offer 30.
Yeah, well, it's 55. You see that?
You don't have a...
This lady proves to be a tricky customer. Does she want it or not?
Can we come to a deal? Can we say 40, you say 30. Can we meet halfway?
Take her money, Andy. Don't be so mean.
32 quid. I'll split the difference with you.
Okay, I'll accept that then.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Still, a £10 profit is not to be sniffed at.
I think from here on in, if somebody can give you an offer, you've got to take it. All right?
Okay.
How are you feeling about that?
Terrible. Naughty.
How much did he sell you that for?
8.
So if I sold you that for 12, you'd take it. It's 20 quid for the two. Yeah. Go on then.
Sold.
Both Kim and Andy benefit from this customer making a small profit on one item each.
Go.
Yeah.
Are you going to be selling them all?
No.
No, you're going to keep them for yourself,
Yeah,
so you're a
collection.
collector?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, from the 1960s.
Excellent. So this is a place to come for good bargains.
This is the place to go, definitely.
Fantastic. I don't believe it. The phone booth has sold to an anonymous phone bidder for £30.
Madam, come. Now, we've got to sell the stuff by the end of the day, so if you're into it, you can have everything here at knockdown prices. Watch. Fiver, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That's one way to get rid of it, Andy, but I suspect you may well have blown your chances of any profit.
22 the lot. How about that for a deal?
That one's chipped.
You can have that for 20 quid the lot.
20 quid the lot.
Sold.
Okay. Okay.
Great. Well, I'll wrap it up.
Wrap it up for me.
What a great day. Kim and Andy have worked really hard and have managed to secure some fantastic sales. Yeah! Kim and Mark's biggest profit was the oak mirror, which made an amazing £60. Their biggest loss was the deco pheasant, which lost them £25. Andy and Jonty's best profit was the silver-plated fruit bowl, which made a very respectable £18. Their biggest loss was the brass candlestick, which lost them £28. So, from an original budget of £350, which team earned the most money back? Teams, I'm delighted to say this is the only table in the whole place which is totally empty. How did you do it?
Well, Andy cleared the table in about 2 seconds flat.
Pretty amazing work, that.
Well, I was working under orders. We had to get rid of it. Nothing could be left, so somebody came along and bid us on the lot, so they took it.
You were left a bit with those chipped pieces, though, weren't you?
There were a couple of chipped pieces, but then they came in with other pieces that weren't chipped, so
Excellent.
that was all right.
There, excellent. It all went. And what happened to your pheasant then, Kim?
Well, we sold it in the end. The pheasant and the corkscrew were the last two items.
They were the last, because when I passed, it was there. Now it's gone.
Yes.
So you're happy with the price, Mark?
Well, we actually sold it to somebody that was quite a hard bargainer.
Really?
So it could have been better, but every penny counts.
It does indeed. And the proof of the pudding, as they say? Well, now, I've got the results of both your sales, and it's pretty staggering. Andy, Jonty, you took £274.23. Where did that come from?
Well, the lady who bought the enamel soap dish at the end, we were split between a 4 and 5 quid. In the end, we emptied her purse out. She had £4 coins and 23p in change, so we skinned her, basically. We left her penniless.
You took her last 23p.
We did. She didn't even have a bus fare.
Not even enough for a cup of coffee.
I saw her hitchhiking out of here later.
Well, that's a pretty good figure. And Kim and Mark, your grand total is £351, which makes you the winner. Congratulations. And here's this lovely memento from your time in Avignon. £351. Where on earth did the one come from?
It's a profit, mate. It's a corkscrew.
That was a corkscrew. Whatever it took, you did it. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you very much for joining us and hope to see you again very soon.